Well, howdy there, folks. James, Political Friar, coming to you again. Got the University of Oregon hat on, and so we're going to have a political topic on this one, specifically the debacle that has become the Republican conference in the Senate and the House. The Republican Party in the Congress is broken. Here's what I mean by that. Back in October, the Republicans balked at providing additional aid to Israel and Ukraine, demanding that they get serious concessions on border security measures. And they entered into negotiations with the Democrats, who are in the majority in the Senate, and the president, who has the power of the veto, to define exactly what those concessions on the border are going to be. They selected the senator from Oklahoma to go and have these negotiations with the Democrats and the Republicans, and that senator did great. He got billions, $20 billion of extra money for the border. He got increased fencing. He got increased asylum officers. He got the decrease in the ability to parole asylum seekers. He got the ability to empower the president to actually shut the border down under certain circumstances that are ubiquitous, basically, to shut the border down. There's a threshold of 5,000, but because 7,000 plus people are coming over the border every day, President Biden would have had the ability to shut the border down completely if this legislation had passed. And the Republicans who are now out there in the media saying otherwise, they're lying to you. It's bald face and gross. And they have to lie to you. They have to lie to you because the Republicans didn't vote for the border security bill. They torpedoed it the second it came out. All of these things that the senator from Oklahoma managed to get, all these concessions that were not paired with anything like DACA, were not paired with anything like a guest worker program, were not paired with anything like the Dream Act. All of these concessions that would have been a Republican's wet dream 3 months ago, they voted against. They voted against them. They don't care about securing the border, and we've known this. It has never been about the border for Republicans. They are lying to you in this case. It's about political power, maybe, or maybe it's about making sure Ukraine loses its war. It's one of those two things. It's either that the Republicans want the crisis at the border to continue so that they can run on it. It's true that Republicans are much more trusted on the border than Democrats, and it's true that the general public doesn't pay attention to Congress, and so it's true that the Democrats, despite actually trying to fix the problem, will still be saddled with the problem. The Republicans are politically correct to not solve the problem. They're only politically correct not solve the problem if they actually elevate their own political interests above the interests of, like America. America first, my ass. Sorry, family program, but that is the only. That's literally the least harsh thing I can say about that. The other potential reason why the Republicans would vote against this border security bill is because it was paired with the Ukraine assistance. And there are some Republicans who clearly want Ukraine to lose and Russia to win. Why they want that it's a bit of a mystery. I can't really empathize with it because it's so clearly against Americans' interests to have Russia win. Russia, the country that had its soldiers in Bucha raping and murdering civilians, Russia, who has kidnapped tens of thousands of Ukrainian children and given them to Russian mothers to be raised as good Russians, Russia that launched an aggressive war against its neighbor, Russia that has been our geopolitical rival for a freaking century. Republicans seem to be siding with them. I don't get it. But J.D. Vance, Matt Gaetz, and others, well, they're the Putin wing of the Republican Party, and I'm just flabbergasted. It seems to be genuine feelings. They seem to genuinely believe that the Russian system is superior to the American system, and these are elected officials in the United States. It's it's weird. It's weird. It makes you wonder. I mean, it just makes you wonder. And I wonder whether it isn't the Tucker Carlson effect. See, listen, Tucker Carlson is not as cynical as he appears. He's a true believer in conservatism, and I mean capital C conservatism of the sort that Richelieu in France in the 17th century would understand. It is better to have the traditional values and authoritarianism and order than it is to allow for liberalism. This is a really old political philosophical debate, and it's not without its merits, but it's really weird in the United States, a country that was founded on liberal ideas, to have this capital C conservatism starting to creep in. This country is not about blood and soil. We frankly don't have enough history to do that. The Germans have been kind of an identified ethnicity for thousands of years. The Americans aren't. Americans love getting their 23andMe tests to figure out where their ancestry is. Nobody identifies as an American, particularly, yet this conservatism. How odd. How drastically un American. How terrible. For the American dream, the identity of America, that you have people who, for reasons, genuinely believe that the American experiment is not worth it. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you for your political cynicism, and shame on you for your moral ineptitude on upholding the ideals of this country. America first, my ass. Anyway, it's just a thought. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments down below. Of course, leave me a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And just know I really appreciate you. Thanks.